There's one more thing we need to do regarding the ball movement, and then we're also going to start creating a scoring system for our small little Pong clones. So as it looks right now, we can move both players, and for some reason the ball is only deflected upwards but never downwards, as you can see here. Well, this is a bad example. Wait, now it should go down, but it's not going down, and the reason is that likely the hit fraction that is calculated right here is, well, it's not what we need it to be. I would like it to, well, I could just hack this, multiply it by 2. No. It's right now a value between 1 and 0, or 0 and 1. And I would like it to go from -1 to 1. So to do that, pretty simple, we could just do multiplied by 2 minus 1. And I think that should fix that bug. So let's see. It's going up now. Oh, what is that? Oh, the bottom border did not work. Why did it? Okay, there's also a bug in the bottom border that we did not see before, because well, why did we not see it before? Because the ball was never going down. So the balls, let's check the bottom border handling. That is here in those lines, and it says if the ball's bottom part, the y coordinate plus the height, is bigger or equal to the bottom inner border, then inverse the ball speed. That sounds correct for now, but apparently it's not working. But why is it not working? If the bottom part of the ball is bigger than the bottom inner border, well, maybe we have just set the wrong value here. Yes, this is definitely not 640, this is 480. That's the size we used to initialize the screen earlier. Where is it? Yeah, here. That's the bottom inner border. Okay, now I'm sure this works. Let's compile and have a look. Okay, it's reflecting up. Yes. Oh. The ball is going a bit fast, but I think that is fine. Yeah. And no, it should be going down. Why? Go down now. Now it should be going down. Why is it not going down? So if we touch the left inner border, of course, yeah, we have to adapt. We have to adapt the handling here. We just fixed the left inner border. No. For some reason, the right. Wait, what is the correct handling now? No, that is completely wrong. Double the hit fraction. So on the right border, which is this one, we need to align those two. The handling for both borders. And I'm not sure what I did here. I just developed things for one border and did not adapt the other. I think the multiplication by 2 and then of course I have to well, I have to multiply the value between 0 and 1 by 2. So it's a new value between 0 and 2. Let's make it 2.0 just to make sure. And then reduce that by 1 so that 0 becomes -1 and 2 becomes 1. Then the hit fraction will determine the speed of the ball in y direction. If the hit fraction is positive, then the movement should go down. If it's not, then it should go up. Actually, the code looks fine to me. I mean, at least the handling of the left hand border. So this border is a bit weird, but let's check this. That is okay. And now this should deflect down, but it's going up. Why? That is wrong. Ball speed y depends on the hit fraction. So how do we calculate this hit fraction? We check the middle coordinate of the ball, and then we compare that with the middle coordinate of the player. Let me just replace that with 2.0s. I think this is easier than than casting two doubles all the time. And then we divide that by the total height. Not sure about that. How exactly does the ball hit the bar, the player? I think maybe that was wrong. Let's see how this goes. Oh. So this should deflect downwards, but it is not. Downward movement is always, well, positive. That means the hit fraction is 0. I think it's a good idea to print the hit fraction again, just to be sure what its value is. Hit fraction, then do this and provide the hit fraction. Okay. It did not print. Oh, why does it not print the hit fraction? The issue is that the printout buffers by new lines, so that's why we see the printouts only after we close the program, because then the buffer is flushed. So let's try again. this looks good. And when we reach that, and no, that is wrong. Oh, okay. So the hit fraction for some reason ranges from 0 to -1. Why is that? I think that the reason for that is that we should compare the bigger value, the player height, with the ball. And not very, maybe like that. No, that should not really be the core reason. So where does the ball impact the player? This right here is the middle of the ball, center of ball. Hey, maybe it makes sense to extract that into a new variable. Int ball center y. And the second variable is the player center y. And we divide that by, wait, so these two together form a difference, and we divide that by the player height. Player height. Ball center minus player center divided by player height. Doesn't work. Why? Ah, yeah, of course. Then I'm missing a semicolon somewhere. Ah, there's also a bracket too much. That has a hit fraction of minus 0. Oh, man, I missed it. So now deflect downward. Oh. Now it should go down. It's not. Why? Oh, I'm so stupid. The center of the ball is not the... Oh my god, if you have seen this before me, then sorry for all the wasted time. The ball center is not ball y plus ball h. It is actually... And that's divided by 2. The ball center is ball y plus half its size. And the division by 2 is completely wrong. And the same applies here. Let's see how it works out now. Okay, now I'm getting appropriate hit fractions, and I have to multiply them by 2 in order to scale them from, instead of going from minus 0.5 to 0.5, I want them to go from -1 to +1. Now this should deflect down. Yes. Okay, that's good. Come on, come on. Ah, okay. I think this behavior is acceptable now. And we can copy that exactly as it is into here. Nope. On the right hand side, this is for some reason not working. Why is it not working? It's not working because I'm mixing up players here. So our references to player 1 should be substituted with player 2. Let's see how it works now. Yep, great. Great, great. Okay. Yeah, that's just the way I want it to be. Perfect. So the movements are completely fixed now. I don't think there's any further issue with them. What else is missing? We want to keep scores, and to do that, we first have to interrupt the game when the ball goes into void, meaning a player does not catch the ball. And that is the case if none of those if statements is true. So we will do the following. Player missed is wrong. And if the player hits the ball, then we will say in here where the ball is deflected that player missed. No, here we will say that the player did not miss. No, let's do it positively. The player hit ball. Then here player hit ball is true. Let's copy that to the other right hand side case. And then if the player missed the ball, then we have to do something. And where do we check that? Wait, move the ball might have... should it return something? No. But it should set a flag that the player missed the ball. Maybe it's possible to set a flag on... I think we need a score item here. That is that. No, let's create a new object, score. And this will be a new struct. And the score will contain two integers. One of them will be player1 score, and the other one will be player2 score. This could also be a simple integer array. Well, okay. Then the score is provided here, and if a player hit the ball, if player hit ball is false. No, that is not a valid metric, because if the ball is traveling between the players, then no player is hitting the ball. We should check whether the player missed the ball. That would be better. Player missed. No. Let's forget about that. And this right here is the else case. If player 1 missed the ball, then we would say score player 2 increment. Why does that not work? Okay, here player 2 score increments. And down here, player 1 score increments if player 2... No, it should be the other way around. This is the left border, so if the left border... if the left border misses the ball, that means player 2 has scored. That is correct. And then here we can check in move the ball, where we provide a score object as well, score. We have to create that score first. Let's do that here. Score is new score, and everybody starts off with a count of 0, the score of 0. And then that score is being incremented in the move ball method, which detects that. And here we can query if score changed. How do we properly do that? We have to track the score locally somehow. Score we need the local copy of the score so that when the ball moves and creates and updates the score, then we can compare, has the score been updated, and if yes, then reset the game. And I don't like that. One thing that we can do for sure is if score no if player 1 score yeah, let's just let's just do that. Local player 1 score copy, or local player 1 score is 0, and local player 2 score is 0 as well. If the score for player 1 is now if it has changed, if it's not the same as the local player 1 score, then what to do then? If the score has changed from the local copy, then we will reset redraw draw initial game, and we will provide that draw initial game the score so that the initial game can then draw the score. That is good. And the same applies to player 2, of course, as well. Player 2 is not local player 2 score, then draw initial game and pass it this score. So if the score has changed, then yeah. And of course we have to update the local variables. No, we don't need that. Draw initial game. How's the initial game drawn? It's drawn based on the surface, and then all of this right here is done. Void draw init game SDL surface. Okay. So let's call draw init game before, well, at the very start of the game, and provide the surface. And then the ball speed is not part of the drawing. The border is. Draw in game, then the scores are kept. Okay, this method here draws everything. But it's redrawing the player 1, player 2, and the ball and the border, which are thus not available here anymore. So you might have to initialize those variables here. SDL rect is player 1. Then player 2 and the ball. And then we provide the draw init game, the address to player 1, the address to player 2, and the address to the ball. And here we can then update the method signature to include method rect player 1, player 1 SDL rect, player 2 SDL rect ball. And then we don't need those declarations here anymore. We just have to dereference the pointers. Then the border is created here. I'm wondering where it was drawn here. It's redrawn over and over again. So we might have to add the border to the draw init game as well. Border. Okay, does that now work? That would be very interesting to know. You just have to provide the right inputs here. Player 1, player 2, and then the ball, and then the border. And we're redrawing the border over and over again because in one of the last episodes we discovered that when we don't redraw it, then every time the ball passes the border, it will erase a section of the border. Well, because of the way we don't use a renderer and draw pixel by pixel, and yeah, the moving ball just erases the border. And never mind. But that is how we're doing it. And I'll just hardcode the color for now. Does that work now? Implicit declaration of function. Draw initial game. Draw initial. I called the method draw init game. And I need to provide it a... Do I need to provide it a score? No, I don't need to provide it a score for now. I need to provide the surface. Surface. Too few arguments. Why? So here we pass the surface, players, ball and border. And down here we pass surface, players, ball and border. And down here we pass surface, players, ball and border. So that is fine. Too few functions, too few arguments to function. Surface, player 1, player 2, ball and border. Surface, too few arguments to function, draw in a game. There's a missing comma. And if the score has changed here, we have to draw the initial game again. And of course, well, we do have to update the local score. Local player 1 score is score.player1. And here the same as well. Let's see if that works and what happens especially. So we're playing a game. One side is then missing the ball and oh no. Now oh my god, what is that? Let's see what okay, that is not good. We first have to erase the original scene. I think we can just paint a black rectangle over everything at the beginning of it all. So let's do SDL fill rectangle, add surface, and then say SDL rect SDL rect, then black surface, and that equals a new SDL rectangle. And we have to provide the X and Y coordinates. X and Y are 0. And then the width and the height should be the screen width and the screen height. Or window. No, let's call it surface width. 640. Surface height. What did we use here? 380? I don't remember. So we use the surface height first and then surface width. So that should paint a large black rectangle over everything so that we start off a clean slate. So let's draw that rectangle. And we need to provide a color as well, and that will be black. Left inner border, what's going on here? Something is wrong. Ah, it's there twice. And this 640 should be surface width. Where's the height of the window? Ah, it's that one. Bottom inner border. Okay. Can we not do that? Bottom inner border, static int. Okay, then let's just set it to 480 then. That's great. And now if I miss, I should... The game does not really restart. At least not properly. I guess the rectangle is not properly drawn. Black surface. X, Y are 0. Then go down surface by surface height and go to the right by surface width. That is actually okay. So if somebody scored, we are updating the score, local score variable, and then we're drawing the init game, the initial game again. Then where's the bug in here? Let's miss this shot. That was okay. That is not okay. That is not okay. Happens on the right hand side. If I move up and let's leave that, that is okay. So it just happens on the right hand side. Why? If the score, so that means when player 2 scores, I mean when player 1 scores. So when the ball hits the right hand, or when the player 2 misses the ball, then we set the score for player, then we increment the score for player 1. Then we just check the borders, update the speed, and move the rectangle. Maybe we should check the borders before all of that. I don't think that's the cause of the bug, but that is reasonable anyways. Looks like it's working. Let's miss that shot. Okay. It just seems the case that our black triangle or our black rectangle does not really override the surface properly. And that's probably because we need to do that. We need to reverse the variables here. First width and then height. Let's see, I'm quite positive this is now working. I'm missing intentionally and the game is restarting with an updated score, probably. Updated score, okay. Updated score. It's actually quite fun. Yeah, and the game restarts, and I would like to check and confirm that the score updates. And if the score updates, then we already have a working game then. So let's do an int score changed. That is false, and if one of those cases is true, then we do score changed is true, and here we say the same, score changed is true, compile, and then if the score changed, then we're going to print the score to the console. Okay, I'm missing score did update, but I missed the new line again. Okay. Let's miss that. Player 1 should get a point, and yeah, that's the case. You can see the score log in the console. Now player 1 should get another score. Yes, yes. And now player 2 should score. And okay, the scorekeeping is working, so that is great. One thing we might... Well, I kind of like that the game just immediately resumes and that we don't have to initialize it again using, for example, the specified key. So all that's left now is that we have to somehow visualize the scores in the system. And to do that, I think a good idea would be to just check if we can easily print numbers to an SDL surface. I am not really willing to render my own numbers as in the original Pong game. Let's just have another look at the Pong game, and you can see there are these numbers here. We could do that, but that would be just that would be such a waste of time. So I would like to print character, or well, SDL character text. How to render text? We will need a renderer. I don't want to use a renderer. You create a surface with the text you want and then convert it to a texture that you can render. I don't like that. I don't want to use a render. Don't want to make things too complicated. But what we could do is that if one player reaches a certain score, for example 5, then the game will print success into the console. So let's do that. If score changed, if score dot player 1 equals 5 or score player 2 equals 5, then wait. If score player 1 equals 5 or score player 2 equals 5, then printf player game end player 1. We don't have to specify which player because it's obvious from the score. So let's just play a game. This will log the score. Okay, we're getting a lot of printouts. Because for every frame, oh my god, we have to do if score changed and that. So this is actually quite a cheap solution, but well, we have to find an end somewhere. So we're keeping the scores. Let's just make him keep a score. Oh, game end. We have a game end already. Game end player 1, new score. No, that's not quite what I want. Game end player 1. And then we reset the score. and score player 2 is 0 as well. And then we can redraw the empty pane or draw init game, just like here. Like this. So we will draw an empty, well, whatever surface. And then I would like to, if the game ended, I would like to wait for someone to enter a certain key again for the game to start. So we're drawing the initial game here. And I would like to update the window here already. Oh, let's do it here, just for convenience. Then we are playing the game and checking whether somebody won. And if somebody won, then or maybe even for every score change, wait for a specific key in order to continue. If the score changed, then let's just do that. Let's wait for a key here. But is a nested while loop in another while loop actually the way to go? I'm not sure. Let's do it nevertheless. The game is still running, but we have to check for a certain key press, as we've done here. So we're checking for a key down, and I would like to start the game on a specific key press that okay, we're waiting. While we're waiting, we're polling events. If the event type is SDL key down and the key is the, I would like to use the spacebar, SDLK spacebar, then we will set waiting to 0 so we can exit that loop. Let's just see if that works. So we're playing a game, and if this misses, yeah, we're waiting again. Now I can press the space bar and the game will reset. I would like both players to have equal chances, so both rectangles should start at the come on. Both rectangles should start at the same center position. To do that, we have to change that when drawing initial rectangles here. Where did I do that? Player 1 is left inner border. It starts at a height of 40. Let's do Let's just do 100. On player 2 as well. And I would like to make both players a bit smaller and slimmer in order to make the game a bit more difficult. Player width should be, well, how the player width is does not really make the game more difficult, but the height makes it more difficult. Maybe let's do 60 and see if the game still works, if the game dynamics have been programmed in a way where this still works. Okay, that looks good. That looks good as well. And I missed, and the other player scored a score. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the scorekeeping still works, so that is nice. I would like to position the ball at the center when I'm waiting for the continuation. So here, during the continuation, I am drawing an init game. And what else? Let's see if that works. No. That does not work. I'm just drawing the init game and I'm not updating the Windows surface. So this might be extracted to its own subroutine. But here it's fine. Waiting for user to resume game. And the user can of course still exit the game via the exit button, the quit button. So let's add that as well. And I think now we have a ready-made finished Pong game. Yeah, that was a score. Oh, why does the border disappear? And now I still can't exit. Running 0. Waiting is 0 as well. And I want to draw the border, which is done independently of drawing the initial game. No, it was not done independently of the initial game. It was done here. Border is a new rectangle. Ah, why did we not draw the border here? Let's see if that works. Do we have already 423 lines of code? No. Constant rectangle. What's the issue here? I'm passing a border into the rectangle to be drawn. And the issue is coming from Pong C line 2. No, that is the include statement. Can we see more of that error? Incompatible pointer type in line 104. Why? Border is an STL rectangle. It is expecting an STL rectangle. Now it worked. Okay, I don't know what I did. But it seems to work now. And that is good. That is good. Let's make the ball a bit smaller. And see if it still works. And what else can we do? We can increase the movement speed to make it a bit more exciting. Let's increase it to 4 and increase the screen size to 900. Oh, this will surely introduce errors. No, let's not do that. Let's keep it that way. Okay. Oh, the ball is very fast. That is too fast. Okay, that is it. Does the ball always start off in the right hand direction? I think it does. Because in draw init game we say that where do we specify the speed? Here, ball speed. When the score changed? No. Where do we modify the speed of the ball? It should just be in move ball and nowhere else. Yeah, okay. We could adapt the speed of the ball so that on each new initialization it's going to go in a different direction. So let's just do that quickly and then that should be it. I don't like that the ball is going the same speed as it was before or before the score was scored. So if the score changed, if someone did if the score changed, generate new starting speed, and it should just go in one direction. New starting speed toward one of the players. So either it should go toward player 1 or toward player 2. So here we have either plus or minus the movement speed. Direction multiplied by movement speed. Then we define a direction, and that is a random integer that is either, well, I just want a plus or minus sign. How do I get that? See, random number in range. I have to use modulo, then modulo 2, and I think I should offset it by -1. So modulo 2 will produce numbers between either 0 or 1. Maybe I should do modulo 3. That should produce numbers 0, 1, or 2. Nah, that's not it. So we will produce a random number that is either 0 or 1. Then we'll multiply that by 2, so we get 0 or 2. And then offset it by -1, so we get -1 or 1. Let's see. Does not look like it's really changing. It's always going in one direction. Random modulo 2 multiplied by 2 minus 1. Random modulo 2 is 0 or 1. Multiplied by 2 is 0 or 2. Minus 1. 0 minus 1 is -1. Huh? Why is it not working? I'm defining a new ball speed here. I have to, of course, to adapt the original one. To do that, let's call speed, or no, ball speed. Yeah, ball speed, and say x. Ball speed x is 0 and ball speed y is direction multiplied by movement speed. Why does it not work? Because I have to use the dot operator. Oh, what's that? Of course, I don't want to update the y speed, but the x speed. Wait. I was just hearing very weird noises in the house, so I had to went for it. So I had to go for a check. But never mind. It was a really loud knocking sound, so no idea where that come from. So where did we stop? We have to generate a new starting speed, and we have to, of course, update this x variable right here. So why can't I move in Vim? What's going on here? Is my keyboard broken? Is it hijacked somehow? What is the issue here? Does it work in the browser? It switched language. Okay, this seems to work. And I would say this is a working Pong game right now with scorekeeping in the console. Yeah, and after the game ended, the score is reset. So that is quite nice. And I'm not sure if I should stop at this point or, well, actually implement the scoring on screen. But I think this is fine for now. If you would like to see me do the scoring on screen as well, then I might be able to do that. But for me now, that was the big challenge, implementing my first game in C. And I'm happy with how it turned out. So if you want to see more videos like this, more programming videos, more talks on tech, then just leave a like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.